Hey everybody, I'm Joe. So we're talking about the Marvel Multiverse RPG. Right now it is still in playtesting, which means that there have been 3 errata to this document as of the time of recording. And if new errata or rules changes come out, I might need to come and revamp some of the things that I'm talking about. But today we're talking about rules that are missing or are non-functional in the game as presented. So stuff that we still need for this to be a full and complete RPG. So let's jump into it. When I made my video about the 10 best powers in the game, I mentioned one called Healing Factor, which just allows you to heal in all of your turns in combat. This is an amazing power, super useful, but it's made more useful through the fact that there's no other healing in the game. Now, since the playtest document was released, an errata did come out allowing for some healing outside of combat, but really, healing is a non-functional aspect of the game. If you have played other RPGs, then you know that support characters, particularly clerics in Dungeons & Dragons, are unbelievably useful characters because they allow the fight to be ever-changing. We can have somebody get taken down by a big hit and we can bring them back up again. And the player at the table who's taken down early in the fight doesn't just have to sit there for an hour waiting for the fight to end. If you are in a game of Marvel Multiverse and you do not have Healing Factor as a power and you're taken down to 0, you just have to sit there until the battle is over. That's it. There's no other option if you don't have Healing Factor. You don't have the ability as a player to take on some kind of superpower that heals someone else. This is a major missed opportunity. If you've played RPGs before, you know that playing a support character is incredibly rewarding. And I think that the Battlefield Tactics power set is really good. It allows you to make the rest of your team better at what they do. It makes everyone's attacks land better. And that's a really rewarding playstyle, and the other players at the table will love you. But even this power set does not have healing in it. So this is just a missing part of the game. It is a large chunk of RPGs that is not here. And there's not a great workaround in the rules presented today. This is going to be a little bit of a theme of this video, but the playtest material as presented is very combat oriented and is very offensive oriented. And we need to round that out with the other wonderful things that players want to do at the table. So as we start talking about the second part of the rule set that I really feel is missing, I want to mention a power that I love. On page 79, and I've talked about this power before, there's a power called Holographic Illusion. I love this power. You get to create an illusion, it seems real, it can be pretty big, and it can be seen from pretty far away. It's awesome. Now, illusions have very little utility in combat, but they have incredible utility outside of combat. Anything that allows your team to solve problems in new ways is called a utility. And the playtest material as presented is sorely lacking in utility power. We need things that let you fabricate, that let you invent. We need to have things that do more things like holographic illusion. We want to be able to see the future. We want to be able to see somewhere else on Earth. We want to be able to understand certain aspects or read all languages or any number of utility things that allow for the other 3 parts of the 4 pillars of TTRPGs to be better. RPGs are combat, of course, but they're also exploration, they are also problem solving, and social interaction. And the powers presented so far are almost exclusively combat. We're missing 3/4 of the game at this point. Utility is so useful. Giving puzzles is something I love doing when I run games, and having people be able to solve problems in new ways is fantastic. So we need more utility, and the flip side of that is our third point, which is support. So utility is granting new abilities to solve problems, usually outside of combat. Support is making your team better at the things they already do. And support is a wonderful playstyle. Now, there's a power set that I dearly love called Tactical Mastery, and this is where you get to make people better. You get to grant an edge on things that they're doing. And that's a great start, but we need a lot more of it. We need support that allows you to increase somebody's armor. We need support that allows you to heal, as I mentioned before. We need support that allows people to do another reroll, to grant more focus, to be able to give additional points of karma out. We need more mechanics like this in the game because support and utility are rewarding playstyles. They open up the other aspects of RPGs, and they're just fun. And if you're a player who is a melee or a combat-oriented player, you really want support and utility players on your team. Trust me on this. So on page 92, there is a power that I love called Wisecracker, and it allows you to attack someone's focus. This power is unique in this ability. Right now, there's no other power that grants you the ability to attack focus as opposed to health. Now, that to me is a shame. We need more ability to attack focus. The focus mechanic I think is great. It is the representation of your mental resilience and your preparation for combat. You can spend focus to fuel your powers, and with the Do This All Day power, you can spend focus to fuel your health if you want to, which is great. We also know that if your focus is taken down to 0, you have trouble on just about everything you want to do. If your focus is taken down to a negative value, that is the absolute value equivalent of your max focus, you go insane. But it's very unclear how that's ever supposed to happen. It says that you cannot willingly spend focus below 0. So you can't fuel your own powers more if you wanted to. And there's one power in the game that attacks focus, which could take it into further negative territories, and that is the Wisecracker power. We need more of these because I can imagine building a character that exclusively attacks focus. This would be incredibly interesting. I can imagine building this as a villain for the campaign that I run. But we don't have a whole lot to play with in regards to focus, and it needs to be a fully fleshed out mechanic. Okay, so those are some aspects of the game that are missing. They are not in the errata, in the playtest as it sits today, but I hope that we see a lot more of them as the game is further altered and eventually the full version rolled out in June. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.